Welcome to the TARDIS, conveniently located in Berkshire counties, Massachusetts. Today we will be talking about visual art, using as the reference, drawing is the art of taking a line for a walk. Paul Klee. And I start with some drawings that were made about 35 years ago. And we're about to exhibit these at Time, Space and Limited in October. And then transposing these drawings, taking them for a walk, into these larger crayon pieces. And then walking onwards, I've been in and out of Berkshire County for about 20 years now, since Hurricane Katrina. Moved here from New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. And on that segue, taking a drawing for a walk, this is the original drawing design for a bar top that I covered in Mardi Gras beads that was in the Audubon Hotel in New Orleans. And in memory of that event, I'm now painting them with pencils. My reasoning for the pencils is that particular light looks very much like the night scene light in the hotel. Walking on, another piece that will be exhibited at Time, Space and Limited in Hudson in October is Martha. And it's part of the Migration series. And Martha was a passenger pigeon. A lot of my work deals with the migration of people and figures and animals and birds. These two pieces in particular were started when my son was born. People started giving me all of these toys and different things, like boxes of them. And so I started assembling them into their own little worlds. With the toys, and these will be exhibited next year in Northampton, Massachusetts, at the New England Visionary Museum. And as you can see, going back, taking the drawing for a walk, the similarity between the drawing and then the end piece. Part of my vocabulary and history as a visual artist is working with recycled materials. And living in New Orleans, I used the recycled Mardi Gras beads to make art pieces. This piece was just recently exhibited at the Hebrew Union Museum in New York, and it's entitled Joy, and it represents the street music of that city. My son told me to clean up, so I did. We don't need to film any of that. And then I start my day in gratitude. And actually looking at this particular piece has been that state of where I get into that state of gratitude. And it's a portrait of the thespian Philip Seymour Hoffman, who we went to the same gym in New York City, so I always looked up to him. Oh, fancy seeing you all here. Just so happens we are here now. So we're back in level 2, and I'm putting together the final pieces of an exhibition Proceed to the root. Proceed to the root. Proceed to the root. Back to taking line drawings for a walk. These were started when we lived in New Orleans, and they were drawings of my son Sebastian learning to crawl and then to walk. And we then, after Katrina, moved here. I just like the fragility and the energy in them, and we're going to exhibit them at TSO in October. After Hurricane Katrina, I was invited back to New Orleans to work on a series of photographs for a building called the Maritime Building. And it was an 11-story building, the first skyscraper in New Orleans. And so all I had was a little camera, and it was the first time I was using actually a digital camera. And it had a mirroring process on it. So I was able to create these pieces. On level 3, as you can see, is a work in progress, street urchins, masks and shields. And then these are part of the collage portrait series that is ongoing. So the pieces are often put together with and having some knowledge of or aware of the person. And this was a really, really accomplished artist in New Orleans. And after Katrina, he moved to Los Angeles, and we moved to New England.
You draw him first?
Yeah, the process is rather complicated in the sense that I make a large drawing first of all, and then put all the pieces together. It's like I always start with maps that are from England. They have these beautiful audience survey maps, and so it was like the particular inks. So I always start with them and then start laying on other colors. And then you have to kind of take it all off and then put it all back on again and then take it all off.
So it's a process for sure.
Alrighty, yeah, thank you for your time. I am very happy to be living here and grateful as well. So this series is in homage to the firefighters. And they're not, I'm a little reluctant to show them because they're not quite finished yet. But one gets the essence.
The firefighters for the fire out here on the hills, you mean?
Yes, the local firefighters, both here and in Los Angeles and really everywhere. I think it's an honorable part of democracy. and to be able to honor them is even.
And these are pastel or?
Yeah, they're pastel. I would call them like multi. There's lots of different things on them. There's oil paint, water paint, oil. I want to keep what they call it, like building them up. And you're worried about the scratching, correct? This will actually be covered entirely in Mardi Gras beads and is part of a piano. This is the lid. And the piano will be totally working, but the first layer is to etch into this so that the beads themselves will sit.
Where's this piece going to be?
This piece will go to an entire large piano. This is just the lid we're working on. We'll start it this winter and it'll be ready for Carnival, Mardi Gras.
Will there be other drawings, or is it just the drawings? It will be the beads doing a design, I imagine.
I have yet to make the final decision on the drawings for this. At the moment, we're just trying to figure out the scale of it and where it's going to be laid. It's going to go upstairs for sure. Thank you for rejoining us. We are in the TARDIS in Massachusetts, and I will be reading a poem that was published by a dear friend of mine, David Scribner, who started the Berkshire Edge. It was an online newspaper up here and was publishing my poetry. And this was one of the poems that was selected and ended up in my first collection of poems. So this poem I'd like to read as for my friend David Scribner. And it's called I've Seen What Can Happen After We Die. I've seen what can happen after we die. It's a crazy business, said the blind man, sitting on his stoop. But I can tell you, I have seen what can happen after we die. The hearse runs out of gas at a blinking red light, and 12 stretched out limousines create a parade of sorts, backing up the traffic, backing up the avenue, causing a scene in the midday heat. I've seen what can happen after we die. The chauffeurs start fighting over a red gas can. The children are dancing in the medium as if this is the happiest day of their lives. Yes, I've seen what can happen after we die, waving at the tourists, looking at us who can see what will happen after you die. Thank you, CTSB. My name is John Kevin Lawson, and this is part of the world that I try and make in Berkshire, Massachusetts. This coming October, there will be an exhibition in Hudson, New York at Time, Space and Limited. And then the following year in Massachusetts, in Northampton, at the New England Visionary Museum. And with that, I would like to say thank you and adieu.